Okay, my esteemed viewers, I'm happy to be back here, and still thankful for those who are part of Me and Geography, our YouTube channel. May you be blessed. So, welcome to this segment again, and I want to conclude fieldwork today. And our next, topic shall be map reading. So today I want to finish fieldwork. I do map reading next in our next episodes, and then we can see what will come after. My call to you is continue viewing our work, continue calling or inviting friends to subscribe to this channel, and then we shall move together as well. So today I want to look at the skills that are gained during fieldwork. How do we determine the skills that are gained during fieldwork? The skills, as I have noted there, gained during fieldwork come from the methods of data collection. So if you remember so well, what are some of the methods that you used in getting information from the field? For example, those methods include, amongst others, observation, recording, interview, sampling, questionnaire method, map orientation method, measurement, and so many others. So it is from those methods that we can get the skills gained during fieldwork. This is a common question with A-level fieldwork. O-level, it has never appeared, but in case it appears, you can equally have a clue about it. So what are some of the skills that are gained during fieldwork? Say, and then there's a sample question there, which is, what skills did you gain from your fieldwork study? And then he gave an example and said that the skills gained during this fieldwork come from the method of data collection, as already mentioned, methods of data collection. And then I said, a student shall note it as, I gained the skill of recording, whereby I was able to note down the future plans of, so you mentioned what you recorded. So in other words, you may not have recorded before going to the field, but when you went there and recorded, you gained that skill of recording. So that's just an example. We can look at another example. Let's say observation method. So how do you write the skill that you go to? Say, I gained, that is if you went as an individual, or we gained observation skills, whereby we saw, you don't say we observed, we saw maybe the physical features at, you mention the area where you went. For example, it should be elaborate. You mention a name. All research is based on evidences, or all fieldwork is based on evidences. You must mention the name of local examples from the field. So if you saw or you observed, what did you see? You say, I saw the physical features at, you mention the area where you went. For example, you mention the name of that feature. Let's say you gained interview skills. You say, I gained interview skills whereby I was able to ask Mr. So-and-so about the maybe future plans of blah, 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 and he told me that, mention what you got. So the skill, like I have already noted there, comes from the methods of data collection. You can go ahead and mention other skills from the methods of data collection. Now, originally when we were starting, we said that fieldwork is made up of three stages of carrying out fieldwork. If I may remind you, the first one is basically the pre-field or preparation for the field. The second one was the real fieldwork. If you don't call it real fieldwork, you can call it actual fieldwork. If you don't call it actual fieldwork, you can call it the data collection stage. And then finally, the final stage is the follow-up stage or follow-up activities. So from the word follow-up, we have the word such as follow. Follow means come after. So this is the final stage in research or in the fieldwork. And it is carried out during right from the field. The moment you come back from the field, you do a follow-up. to make a recap of what has happened or what happened during the field. So it is a stage where data collected from the field is reorganized and discussed before it is finally compiled and then put into a report. So you sit down as groups or as a class, put together the findings, and then come up with a very, very systematic presentation or systematic report. So we're going to say the follow-up activities should be explained. Should be explained, as noted there, should be explained. The order does not matter. You don't need to say we did this, we did that, but after that we went for this. The order does not matter. But that student who has maybe a chronology of things could be the best student to work with or to teach or to mark for that case. So the order does not matter, and then they should be explained. In other words, how basically did you get that information and how did you put it to order? For example, I've given you some of the follow-up activities as summarized there. One of them is group presentations. Remember, in our preparation for a field, there was formulation of groups. So after forming the groups, you go to the field, collect information as groups. Now, when you come back, what happens? You have to present the information you got as groups. So here we're saying group presentations, and then we are saying in that case, how do you state it as a student? You say, there were group presentations. Maybe one of the groups presented the problems faced by people at, you mention where you went. So in other words, when you sit down, each group brings what they got from the field. This is common for researchers. It's a group so and so, you are dealing with this aspect, maybe influence of relief on land use. Group so and so is dealing with the influence of drainage and land use. So each group presents what they got. Maybe other groups can do the sketching or drawing sketches from the field, etc. That is group presentation. So you mention what one of the groups could have presented. Then polishing of field sketches. When we are talking about field sketches, for this case, we are interested in showing, or we are interested in knowing, did you perhaps draw a sketch map of the area? Did you have a panorama drawn of that area or a cross-section of the area? So that is polishing field. In other words, each group could have drawn its own sketch map. So when you come together as a class or a group of researchers, you put together what you got and come up with one best thing. So you can say, we polished the sketch map of the area. You mentioned the area where you went for that research. Maybe we polished the sketch map of Kaiso Fish Learning Site. That is polishing of field sketches. Then, drawing conclusions and making recommendations. That is an activity. So how do you state it? When we said drawing conclusions, this in drawing conclusions entails coming up with findings. What did you find out? If you say maybe the hill influenced stone quarrying in that area, you're trying to come up with conclusions. So these conclusions, in most cases, are drawn from this stage. Drawing conclusions and making recommendations. You can advise where necessary. In your report, you can advise what should be done to improve the area where you went for your research. Then, compiling of a fieldwork report. This is equally done after group presentations, polishing sketches, and then drawing conclusions. Then you put them together into one write-up. It can be a book, it can be a journal, it can be anything that can be published. So you compile it, put together the work you got for all the research you made from the field, and then after compiling it, before you go to after compiling it, how do you state that activity? You say, we compiled a field report. Listen to the tense, compiled. We compiled a field report about Kaiso Fish Learning Site. Then after compiling it, what comes next? There is presentation, handing over of the fieldwork report, findings to the school authority, that is for students, or to the head of department, that is for higher institutions of research. So you say, we handed over our report to the school authorities, maybe for publishing in the school library, etc. So those are some of the major follow-up activities. The activities that are carried out in the final stage of research or fieldwork. When you come from the field, what do? Let me make a recap. Do group presentations, polish sketches, draw conclusions, compile a report, and finally hand over the report to the respective people. For the school authorities, that is maybe head teacher or school director, that is in a secondary school, maybe heads of departments for other institutions like universities, etc. So that is the final part of research. So, like I was telling you that we are winding up on fieldwork. I take this chance to say may you be blessed for having been part of this first segment. Thank you very much for those who have subscribed. Those who are yet subscribed, you're most welcome. Please subscribe and then view the content that we put up there. It's educative. In our next clip or in our next episodes, we shall be discussing map reading from the basics to the advanced part of it all. Remember to subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is Me and Geography. View the content, and then you can equally share the link or invite other people to subscribe to equally also view the content. Otherwise, stay blessed.